A group of journalists were detained and had their equipment confiscated during a protest in the Afghan capital Kabul this morning. Taliban fighters who largely outnumbered the protesters and the journalists said that they had orders to remove everyone from the site, saying that covering such protests is now illegal in Afghanistan. My producer was taken and described to me being beaten by 3 Taliban fighters who confiscated his phone and wallet. He has since been released and is very shaken, but says he wants to continue to work. You have already had a go at this, though. Why did you want to be president again? And what do you think Iran needs right now that you would be the best fit to deliver?
As I mentioned, this time people asked me to be a candidate.
With Assad troops now closing in on victory, I asked the Prime Minister what the end of the war in Syria would mean for Lebanon.
Russia controls Syria.
What is your relationship like with Russia?
Very good.
So you don't think you will have to deal with Bashar al-Assad?
I'd rather you deal with President Putin.
Hundreds of Daesh militants killed as Iraqi forces captured tunnels and defused booby traps near Mosul. Hello and welcome to TRT World Live from Istanbul. I'm Anelise Borges. Thousands of former rebels remain in camps like this one, waiting to transition. In theory, once the FARC deliver their weapons, these people will be free to start a new life. However, no one here is quite sure what that life will be like. Winds and high waves have made it for a very difficult night for people aboard Aquarius. All 106 people had to be moved inside. Our ETA at the Spanish port of Valencia is Saturday evening, exactly 7 days from the night these men, women and children were rescued from the Mediterranean Sea. Do you see what Matteo Salvini and many Italians keep saying, that Italy has done enough to help with this crisis? Do you think that the rest of Europe should be doing more in order to help these refugees and take some responsibility for those crossing the Mediterranean?
We're now heading back to Lampedusa after 4.5 hours of flight. This is because the sun is setting. We cannot risk to fly overnight. We know that there is another boat that was spotted not far from this position, but right now there isn't enough time to actually go and check on the state of that vessel.
Libya is a passageway, a transit point, a way to get somewhere new. Sometimes, many times, Libya becomes the end of the road. Everyone entering Libya illegally is placed in detention. Euronews was granted access to one such center, a place so dangerous we had to be escorted by 2 police cars.
You need help. You need help.
When I asked Imutan how he was being treated here, and what are conditions like in this place, he glanced at the guard. Guantanamo is America's oldest offshore base. It's been here in Cuba for over 100 years. For many, Guantanamo represents everything that is wrong with U.S. foreign policy. We negotiated for months to be allowed into the prison complex. This is the closest we can get to the detainees. Behind this glass door, there is a communal area, a space where they get to spend time together, read together, have their meals together. We're not allowed in any way to let them notice us. Apart from knowing their name and age, we're kept in the dark about what really happens to the prisoners. So our only direct link to their story is Nizar.
Et bizarrement, pour moi, la plus cruelle et la plus difficile, c'était la torture psychologique.
From your interview with Guaido, do you think he really believes he can win this standoff?
He seems to believe that Nicolas Maduro's days are numbered. When he described the situation here in Venezuela, he says this country is currently facing an unprecedented humanitarian emergency. Did these leaders pick up the phone? Did you manage to get someone to talk to you about possibly changing their opinion about Maduro?
Estamos haciendo lo posible para que lleguen los mensajes.
We do understand that his entourage has reached out to China, but we have no confirmation on whether or not the negotiations are actually ongoing.
We accomplished our mission. Minus it's a case of success in the UN history.
And that positive assessment was shared by the UN Security Council, which decided to pull these troops out of Haiti, deeming the country safe enough. But
Can this nation maintain peace and stability on its own? Not everyone here is convinced.
I approach one of the Taliban commanders managing the crowds.
Can I ask you a question? The amount of people in the streets, these scenes paint a very different Afghanistan from when the Taliban was last in power. Do you agree that this is a different Afghanistan now?
ما میخوایم یک حکومت همه شمول که هم افغانا خود دو ببینه، هم افغانا خود دو احساس خود بکنه، موجودیت خود بکنه، حق و حقوقی که هر افغان در اینجا زندگی بفهمن. تشکر از شما.
تشکر. He didn't even look at me, but that's all right.